perfection doesn't exist. It don't exist, Joe. We're in a time right now where people expect perfection. You expect perfection. I don't know where this came from. I don't know what happened that this is the criteria for living. My true understanding is, all right, you got one life. And that one life, the goal for us is to live it to the best of our ability from the beginning to what's said the end. Sun don't stop for nobody, man. Sun don't fucking stop. Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless. That sun is gonna be up in the morning regardless of how I feel and how depressed I am. The sun is gonna fucking shine in the morning, and at nighttime the moon gonna be there, and you gonna look up. These days gonna keep going by. So do you let the days go by and look up and you done wasted a year doing what? Or do you just pick it up? All right, well, gotta figure it out. Made some mistakes. Life goes on. Let me figure out life from this point. I'm a life goes on type of guy. The biggest memory for me is the one of being complacent. You know, as a child, I wasn't really a kid that embraced the world of challenge, right? I was very complacent. I was okay with being a subpar to low average student, right? I was okay with not trying. I was okay with not giving my all. And I was kind of okay with getting over, right? So the biggest memory that I have in my childhood is like when I got to that early teen years, that 12, that 13, that 14, being sneaky and thinking that you're constantly one-upping someone was that's what I was embracing at the highest level. Do your homework. I did it. Did you really do your homework? I did it. And you taking my word for it and not checking my homework. Oh, I didn't do it, but you think I did. I got over. Ultimately, you're slowly cheating yourself over the course of years, and it's not until you get a reality check as to why that work was necessary that you realize you're just not doing what you're supposed to do with your life, right? You're not giving your all. It's so amazing when you get to the other side, you see the other side, and you look back and you just look at what you've grown from. The conversations that I'm able to have, the knowledge that I'm able to speak with, and the understanding. I understand, not because I'm a trained machine and I spent all of this time prepping for, and you know, this is what the idea of education was all based off of. No. The idea of discovery enhanced the muscle that made me want for so much more information in the space of life that I chose to love. Not trying is failing. There's a lot of things that people can't do simply because you've never tried to do it. And I'm not saying that you should try everything. I'm not saying that you're supposed to do everything. I'm saying that for me, when someone says something and I go, no, I never did that. I have to have a reason for why I've never done it and a justification. If you ask me something and I go, no, and you just say why, and I go, that's not good enough for me.
Yeah.
I like to have a reason why. And that's the foundation that I stand on. That's how I built this mindset, this level of energy to go ahead. Rhyme and reason within my why. Why not? You know, when you say and use the word monsters, just for clarity so people can understand, of course we're talking about the different levels to you, right? And within the levels that I've discovered in myself, of myself, you know, you got your good versions and your bad versions. And the bad versions I refer to as monsters, but just because they're bad doesn't mean they don't have good quality. And when you're winning and you're succeeding, there's this idea that everything is right. There's this idea that perfection has now presented itself and life moving forward is going to be just an easy road. And it's not until you're in that position where you expect perfection and you think that you start to see the true problems and flaws really present themselves. And, you know, my monsters have been masked and disguised in various different ways, but I've been able to pinpoint them throughout the years. Simplest things have come from an idea. From your chair, to your table, to your wheel, to your light bulb, to your car, to your plane, to your helicopter. to the idea of a hotel, from hotels going to a place of people renting out houses and Airbnbs, to taxis, to then people driving their own cars. And these are all ideas. And the groundbreaking thought that I had in realizing all these ideas is that these ideas have the potential to touch the sky if a person believes that they can. If a person believes that they can, well, your world of idea changes. Your reason for getting up, your reason for putting your feet on the ground every morning, it can change if you believe that the purpose that you now have and that you're working towards, based off of an idea, is something that you can succeed in. I don't like not knowing. I don't like the thought of feeling of being content with not understanding or not wanting. So when I see what other people can do, what can be obtained from a thought, from a want, from a feel, it makes me go, well, I got the same thoughts and the same feelings and the same wants. I don't have what these people have. I haven't done nearly half the thing that these people have done. That makes me want to fucking work harder. That means that I'm not doing as much as I could, because these people are proof that the things that I want to do can be done. I'm not looking at one person that got lucky. If I'm looking at 44 people that are doing amazing shit, why aren't I number 45? Within the urban community, what I found is that a lot of things just come from lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, lack of opportunity. And when you know that and you understand that, there's a lot of real anger behind it, but not efforts to change it. So it's not something that you can change overnight. It's something that you have to make the baby steps to basically help and motivate others to jump on a bandwagon that you're creating. Well, the one thing that I'm most confident in is me. So if I'm gonna lose on myself. At this point, it was where I knew that I would get a positive outcome and a good return on my investment. I wanted to. Betting on you. I knew that I was betting on me, and I knew the potential of my project and what it could do. The biggest reason for my entrepreneurial drive right now is by being a sponge. When you're around other entrepreneurs and you see what the benefit of a creative mind is, it sparks yours. The only way to really get to my goal, if I'm trying to become a billionaire and I want to take that money and throw it back into several communities, I have to surround myself with other people that have that same mentality. I have no ego. I don't know it all. I don't have the education that matches up with the things that I've done or that I'm doing. But what I do have is the understanding of how things work. And when you get the people that have a different type of understanding and you match my understanding with yours, you have something that is destined to succeed, because you're putting a creative vision and a real hindsight with the education and the structure and the systematic view, and combining those things, you now look up and you have companies. This is how companies get built. And when you have a team, a real valuable team that has a high level of energy and effort and want and will to make something work because they believe in it, the chances of you losing are very slim. How it's so hard to see the good if you're only seeing the bad. There's so many people that struggle with what their version of success is because they're looking at someone else's. There's so many people that struggle with their world of relationship because they're judging theirs based off of someone else's, right? And when you're constantly in the space of not realizing or noticing your world, your reality, because you're living in what appears to be someone else's, well, your shit is never gonna be right. It's never gonna be right? If I'm looking at everybody's relationship with their father and I'm going, I want that. Well, I'm not embracing the world of good that came from my dad. I could have went down the road that my dad did. I could have easily been wrapped into the same world of, drugs, gangs, violence, stick-up boys, right? The embracing the hood at the highest level. Not that I don't, because I do. That's where I'm from. But I could have embraced it at a much higher level and followed in the footsteps of my father, because that's what he did. But I was able to realized the mistakes he made. I was able to go, well, I don't want to go down that street because I see the consequences of it. That's a choice that I made, right? Some don't make that choice. By the way, no disrespect to those that haven't. It's to each his own. You do what you want based off of who you've seen or what you want to be true to. Live your life. Ultimately, we get one. Live it for you. Live it to the best space and place that you feel you can win at. That's my motto. I'm not here to tell you right from wrong. I'm saying I identify things differently and I make decisions based off of examples that I can look at as not bad, but ones that if I didn't have, I could have made that mistake.